Kim Kardashian, the iconic reality television star and business mogul, has always been a figure of unyielding resilience, navigating the whirlwind of fame, family drama, and entrepreneurial ventures with a poise that seems almost superhuman. Yet, in a deeply personal revelation shared during a recent episode of The Kardashians, she peeled back the layers of her meticulously curated life to expose a vulnerability that strikes at the core of her being: the insidious impact of chronic stress on her brain. What began as a routine health checkup transformed into a sobering confrontation with the physiological echoes of years spent under intense pressure, revealing diminished activity in key areas of her brain, a discovery that left her reeling in disbelief. It all unfolded during a session with renowned psychiatrist and brain health expert Dr. Daniel Amen, who conducted a specialized SPECT, single-photon emission computed tomography, scan on Kim's brain. This advanced imaging technique, which maps blood flow and activity levels in the brain, is often used to diagnose conditions ranging from ADHD to dementia. For Kim, the results were not just numbers on a screen, they were a stark mirror reflecting the toll of her high-stakes existence. As Dr. Amen reviewed the scans with her, pointing out regions in her frontal lobes, crucial for executive functions like decision-making, emotional regulation and stress management, that showed unusually low activity, Kim's reaction was one of raw, unfiltered shock. "That just can't be. Just can't. I'm not accepting," she uttered, her voice laced with a mix of denial and determination. In that moment, the woman who has built an empire on confidence and control found herself grappling with something far beyond her influence: the silent erosion caused by prolonged stress. Dr. Amen, with his decades of experience in integrative psychiatry, wasted no time in attributing the findings to the chronic stress Kim has endured over the past several years. Chronic stress, as he explained, isn't merely a fleeting emotional state, it's a biochemical assault on the body and mind. When stress becomes a constant companion, it triggers the release of cortisol, the primary stress hormone, in excessive amounts. Over time, this hormonal flood can shrink neural connections, particularly in the prefrontal cortex, the brain's command center. For someone like Kim, whose life has been a relentless cycle of public scrutiny, personal upheavals, and professional demands, the effects are magnified. The low activity in her frontal lobes, Dr. Amen noted, could make it increasingly difficult for her to manage future stressors effectively, potentially exacerbating issues like focus, mood stability, and even physical health. Kim didn't hesitate to pinpoint the primary culprits behind this buildup. At the forefront was her highly publicized and emotionally draining divorce from Kanye West, the rap icon and father of her 4 children. What started as a fairy tale romance captured in viral moments like their 2014 wedding in Florence, Italy, devolved into a tabloid nightmare marked by West's erratic behavior, public outbursts, and legal battles over custody and privacy. The divorce, finalized in late 2022 after a protracted fight, left Kim not just legally unbound but emotionally scarred, forcing her to shield her children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, from the chaos while maintaining her role as the steadfast matriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner clan. The stress of co-parenting across continents, coupled with West's inflammatory social media rants that often targeted her new relationships and parenting choices, created a pressure cooker from which there was no easy escape. Compounding this personal turmoil was Kim's ambitious foray into the legal world, a pursuit inspired by her late father, Robert Kardashian Sr., the attorney who famously defended O.J. Simpson in the 1995 murder trial. In a bid to redefine herself beyond the glamour of reality TV and shapewear lines like Schemes, Kim enrolled in law school through an unconventional apprenticeship program in California. The grueling study schedule, often 18-hour days squeezed between diaper changes and board meetings, culminated in her taking the baby bar exam, a rite of passage for aspiring lawyers. Failing it on her first attempt in 2021 was a blow that hit harder than any fashion critique or paparazzi ambush. "I studied so hard," she later reflected in interviews, her voice cracking with the weight of unmet expectations. The failure wasn't just academic, it was a personal referendum on her intellect and grit, amplifying the stress that had already been simmering. But Kim's brain health journey didn't begin with the SPECT scan. Just weeks prior, she had disclosed another alarming discovery: a brain aneurysm, a bulging blood vessel in the brain that, if ruptured, could lead to stroke or death. Detected during a Prenuvo full-body MRI scan, a cutting-edge, non-invasive imaging service she champions for early detection, this aneurysm had likely been lurking undetected for years. Prenuvo scans, which Kim has promoted through her social media and podcast appearances, use magnetic resonance imaging to peer inside the body without radiation, uncovering hidden threats like tumors or vascular abnormalities. For Kim, the aneurysm was a wake-up call, prompting her to double down on preventive health measures, from biohacking routines like cryotherapy and infrared saunas to a diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods. Yet, even as she shared this with her millions of followers, urging them to prioritize screenings, the aneurysm underscored a broader theme in her life: the hidden vulnerabilities that fame can't outrun. Returning to the SPECT results, Dr. Amen offered a glimmer of optimism amid the concern. Despite the low activity in certain areas, Kim's brain showed no elevated risk for Alzheimer's disease, a condition that has long shadowed her family due to Kris Jenner's mother, Mary Jo Campbell, passing from the disease in 2022. Moreover, Amen praised Kim's overall mental resilience, observing that she presented as not terribly stressed, not anxious, and not depressed. He went further, calling her extraordinary in being positive, a testament to her innate ability to reframe challenges into opportunities. This positivity, he suggested, acts as a buffer, fostering neuroplasticity, the brain's capacity to rewire itself through positive habits and mindset shifts. Yet, his warning was clear and urgent. With her frontal lobes functioning at reduced capacity, ongoing stressors like her bar exam retakes could compound the damage, making it harder to manage stress, and that's not good for you, especially as you're studying and you're getting ready to take the boards. Kim's response to this revelation has been characteristically proactive, blending vulnerability with action in a way that resonates deeply with her audience. In the episode, she vowed to incorporate brain-boosting protocols recommended by Dr.